They're trying to put Aiinmg and Mark, probably give counter picks to Iboy and Hong. Maybe the better option here for Rare Atom. We're going to go straight through the bans very quickly. Of course, Twisted Fate banned away from Zeka. That was his best champion and his most played champion this split. On BLG, and a lot of focus on Iboy, taking away 3 champion picks. So maybe, as you were saying, they're just trying to make sure that Aiinmg has a good time.
Yeah, and when you see something like the Aphelios ban, it automatically makes my mind jump to something like the Kai'Sa, right? Aphelios really is only picked as that answer into the Kai'Sa, great into champions that jump into him, so BLG might index into that area, but Rare Atom makes the adaptation. They banned the champion we were highlighting earlier, taking away the Jhin, and that should set up for a nice first pick Kai'Sa for BLG.
Yep, the Kai'Sa is taken away immediately in the AD carry pool. We probably only have Misfortune and Vayne and maybe Kalista. I think those are the 3 other champions that we've seen this split so far, so not a lot of options for Rare Atom. They're going to continue this trend of denying Leona away from Mark. Mark's best champion is Leona with over 70% win rate. They're still hovering onto that one. But which AD carry do you want to see selected here?
I think this time around, though, you could actually go for that Xayah, and it makes more sense, right? We've seen the Xayah picked up quite a bit into the Kai'Sa lane. You do fine in the laning phase. Obviously great in the team fights. You have self-peel tools available to you. So this time around, the pick would make a lot more sense than it did in Game 1.
You do have priority in lane. You do win out the push, but Rare Atom are going to be looking for Fofo's best champion. They're going to give him the Zoe. So far, he's 2-0 on this one. And it's now BLG's turn to find an answer. Potentially Cinder on the table.
You were the one who said that Ike's highlighted, hey, anytime they can get the Zoe, they are willing to put that in Fofo's hands. Iboy even during Demacia Cup saying, hey, I have trust in Fofo, I can int, Fofo won't int with me. So this team really having a lot of trust in his best champion. And BLG going to a tried and true comp, bringing out the Galio. I do expect him to lock in the Camille. There it is. And again, you have a ton of dive onto the enemy backline right now. This also will set up very nicely for Meteor with whatever he wants to pick up. And I think Fofo is going to feel a lot of threat in that backline.
Great dive options coming out from BLG. Rare Atom, think about what they want to go for. Typically, it is the AD carry that has to be selected right here with so many AD carry bans and a second ban phase upcoming. They do go for the Xayah, as you mentioned. Good laning phase matchup coming in from them. Rare Atom, this is, I think, a big question for Cube. What does he have that can actually counter the Camille? What is there that he actually played? What do you want to see, Lyric?
Yeah, for the side of our BLG, it's going to be quite interesting because, again, you already expect BLG to be running into you, and I don't feel like there's too many champions available. Maybe they could go for something like the Aatrox. Again, if the whole enemy team's going to come in range of you to get off your full combo and your Gore Drinker, that can feel quite nice. You already have AP damage in the mid lane. On the other side, the thing I'm interested in finding out is where this Galio will go, because I would say I expect it to be mid lane. You have the Camille Galio combo on the tops of the map. It's one of Zeka's most played champions, but Galio has been one of the answers into Leona in the bottom side of the map. You have the wave clear. You can push and roam. Very good against all in. So BLG, I like that they have numerous options with how they can pivot their draft so far.
Talking about the Galio, we have seen Mark actually pick this up in 2020. Hasn't done so this split yet, but it's definitely in his wheelhouse as one of those champions. BLG are going to finish off the ban phase with 2 bans directed at Cube, taking away the Jace and the Renekton. And we are going to see a potential Gnar coming into the Camille matchup, something that we have seen a lot in the previous series.
And I'm not too big a fan if they do end up locking this in, because Gnar is just so vulnerable in mini form. If they do have that Camille Galio on the tops of the map, it feels like anytime those ultimates are up, Cube is 100% dead.
I have to agree with you. We've seen this in the RNG versus TT series, just dive after dive happening. BLG still looking for a support and potential mid lane right here. They are going to be hovering the Alistar. This is part of a great combo that we've seen so many times before. And actually, they are still missing a jungler as well. They are going to lock in the Graves, so just to run it back on the side of Meteor while still hovering over the support position.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're going to see Meteor keep going towards this champion. It is one of his favorite picks. It does combo quite well in the mid-jungle 2v2, so we might see him put a bit more emphasis on mid, and then you rotate as a 3-man core towards the top side. and they are locking in that Alistar in the bottom lane. So again, a lot of dive coming out from the side of BLG, just like in Game 1. And it seems like that's BLG's motto, just all in, always run forward, slam your foot on the gas pedal.
The tried and true LPL way, that's what I love to call it. The cannonball composition coming in for BLG, lots of pick, lots of plasma stacks to be thrown around. In the meantime, Rare Adam are looking at a last pick Nidalee. Wow, something that we don't usually see these days, as Nidalee is a very, very high priority.
Yeah, Nidalee, of course, a very good champion into the graves. You not only have the AP, but you have the ability to outrange him, kite him, catch him by surprise. You do clear faster than him. So very nice champion. It does give RA a lot of like poke options if they do get on objectives first or when they're contesting mid-wave. The big problem is that I feel like anytime BLG do want to get on top of your backline, they have access to either Leyan or Fofo. Iboy at least will have the self-peel coming in from his ultimate, but not really much else besides that.
These teams are on two different sides of the spectrum, but as Lyric calls it, doesn't really think that the poke composition coming in from Rare Adam is going to be able to survive the aggression, especially into that backline. We're going to see how this one pans out, but before we get into the game, which lane do you think is going to be the most crucial coming into this one?
I actually think it'll probably be jungle, especially the fact that we're seeing Nidalee come out, right? When you have Nidalee on the Rift, it is a lot about her lanes enabling her and allowing her to get ahead in that 1v1. Of course, it's going to be all about transitioning to top side, as we highlighted with the Camille and Gnar, but I feel like this game will be decided by Leyan and Meteor.
Leyan and Meteor, the two ones that are going to be dueling it to the death. I just want to mention that for those that don't know, Leyan was serving a ban previously because he was using an exploit in the Chinese servers. He was banned for 2 series. That's why we're only seeing him emerge onto the Rift now. However, with that being said, he is the highest ranked Chinese player on the Korean solo queue ladder right now, hovering around the 20th position. So he's been doing really well there, and Nidalee has been his main champion.
And we know the potential for Leyan has always been there, right? His mechanics have never been questioned. His even style, I'd say, fits the meta a lot more. The thing is, though, you need to dedicate a lot of resources to your jungler, maybe along the lines of a JDG. As I'm going to pause, because BLG wants some shenanigans. I don't know if they'll find them, but they're looking for them, Clement.
They're going to send a 5-man stack into the bottom side. Like you were mentioning, they don't really find the target they want to engage on. Rare Adam, just with a 5-point spread, is going to avoid any of these aggressive level 1s, and it looks like we're just going to go back to normal.
Yeah, and we're going to see, I think, a pretty stock and standard early game. I think Meteor can potentially bring out some aggression in the mid lane, try to force an early flash from the likes of Fofo. This comp's really going to come online at level 6, as we talked about, all going to be about that wombo combo on the top side of the map, breaking down top turret, playing through a longer side lane for BiuBiu, and probably rotating into the team, looking to get on that back line. For RA, I feel like your options are a bit more limited. We need to see them get ahead in this early game, especially in the mid-jungle. Again, we need to see Leyan being able to find these duels with Meteor and really controlling the river alongside Fofo.
Taking a look at the runes here, we are going to see Zeka go back for the Predator Galio. This is something that he did try, but ultimately didn't really succeed on in the previous games, as they played a very similar composition. The Aftershock was the one where they found the victory with. But just getting your thoughts on that one, and where should he be roaming with this?
So, just talking about the runes specifically first, I think Aftershock is kind of necessary into certain matchups where the enemy mid laner has very easy, low cooldown abilities to spam, like Orianna and Syndra. But up against Zoe, that's not exactly the case.
Level 2 coming in from BiuBiu, he's going to find a good chunk onto Cube and force him back before he can find the Mega Gnar. So, great trade on that side, and this is pretty typical of the Camille matchup, I think. We've been seeing a lot of Gnars just getting bullied out early.
Yeah, not the easiest time for the likes of Gnars. Ooh, Mark hitting a really nice Headbutt Pulverize combo, but again, nothing going to happen. Touching back on that top lane matchup, right, Camille does have a nice range coming out for her W, so it is a lot about the poke war coming out from Gnar's Boomerang and Camille's W, and then Camille trying to find those nice opportunities to all in, especially if Cube does end up blowing his E.
We do see a good push, as we were mentioning, in the drafting phase. Xayah over Kai'Sa is going to find that early game advantage. They also have Leyan coming down to this quadrant of the map, so a lot of potential action could happen here.
Yeah, especially if RA keeps finding trades like this where they are chunking out the likes of Aiinmg and Mark, but still, I'm glad the Observer realizes it. I don't think we're going to see too much on the bottom side of the map, despite the fact that Leyan is going there. This definitely is a lot more of a top-centric game.
With that being said, Mark actually flashes in aggressively to get the W back onto Iboy, and they find the first blood on that one. Leyan is circling around, but he's not going to be able to join this one in time. Essentially, BLG get a 2v3 win, and they're also going for the top side at the same time. Cube is forced to flash out, and that one does dissipate, but BLG with the first kill on the board.
BLG winning on both sides of the map, Clement. That isn't how this should be going. We see RA playing around their bot side. Leyan was making his way down. That's why RA's bottom lane felt so secure to play so far forward, but not respecting the ability of Mark II Flash and Headbutt Pulverize him under the turret. Does go down, and this has been the story of Iboy. We kind of touched on it last game, but Iboy not the same as he was, a few years ago when he was so hyped and highlighted coming out from the LPL region. Has been known to make a lot of these small blunders that really end up costing him big advantages.
Can't say I'm really surprised about that one. We did see Iboy from some unfortunate backs just giving away his life. So it looks like Rare Atom are going to try and salvage that situation, though, as they send another 3-man hit squad down towards BLG's bottom side. They are figured out, however, and it looks like they will be backing away.
And we already see Aiinmg having the serrated Dirk, so this lane should be starting to swing heavily in the side of BLG's favor. And Clement, again, you're an analyst. You've actually done the math on when the Q Evolve does come out, so when should we be expecting to see that, Mr. Clement Chu?
Well, I will go into that one, but it looks like BiuBiu is getting chased down. I think he should be able to get away from this one okay. But going back into the numbers for Kai'Sa, at level 6, he only needs 93 AD to get that evolve onto the Q, and that means with Serrated Dirk, Dorn's Blade, Pickaxe, and the Noon Quiver, she will get that evolve done. We actually have been seeing a lot of players when they are ahead, they choose to not finish their Mythic and go straight for the Q evolve just to get that extra solo damage.
Yeah, and that definitely seems like it would fit Aiinmg's playstyle, but I like the options we're having come out from the side of RA. They're trying to realize, hey, we're not winning in the bottom side. We need to get off an early recall, and they're starting to hover around mid and unlock Fofo a bit more when we talked about, hey, a big thing for RA is having pressure in this mid lane to start enabling Leyan. The problem is you don't really have great options to look in terms of side lanes with where you want to use that pressure. It feels like you can really only look for the duels with Graves, but Graves has been so centered on playing with his strong side of the map.
Yeah, we definitely see BLG setting up in the bot side very well. They have the river warded and covered. But in the meantime, Leyan has been finding a decent farming advantage. He's just going straight for his mythics, already has a Hextech Alternator online, so that's going to be a good chunk of damage if he does manage to find any of those targets for his Javelin. And we are seeing Meteor once again sneak towards the mid lane. Is spotted out, however.
Yeah, and probably a lot of fans because, again, it's been all the rage these days. The Moonstaff build that, again, LS is kind of popularizing. We don't see that here in the LPL. It is all about
damage.
Damage.
A big chunk of damage as we do see the Electrocute go down. The 2v2 firmly into Rare Atom's favor, and they're going to try and snowball this as they head towards the bottom side and force away Aiinmg and Mark.
And this is what we were talking about earlier, kind of setting up with this two-man unit of where Fofo can play a bit more aggressively in the mid lane, abusing a vision advantage to chunk out the members of BLG, and now Leyan can go and start looking for those duels with Meteor and trying to take away some of those camps.
Do see a level advantage developing for Leyan on his Nidalee. They're going to take full control of the Dragon Pit and also give Rare Atom's bot lane some breathing room as they do find a push and maybe a potential recall here. It looks like things are going back into being more equal on both sides. And what do you think about the priority for that 2v2? Are we going to see it just continue to snowball in favor of Fofo and Leyan?
I don't necessarily think so, because you don't really have great setup for just ganking the lane outright, right? You'd have to hit a bubble from Zoe when Galio can just push and move, just throw out his Q, throw out his passive. But I'm going to stop Clement because BLG now going
to
bot lane
find the 4-man onto the bot side. It is a straight 4v2. Very good engage from Zeka. He finds the knock-up right there. And once again, Iboy falls down 0-2 into the laning phase.
And I just love how their comp so easily sets up for the topside play, but because Aiinmg does get the advantage from that earlier kill, they just decide, hey, let's just play around bot side. We're going to keep playing around Aiinmg. BLG don't really care much about win conditions or champions or anything like that. They're going to stick to their setup, getting their Korean AD carry ahead and trying to pivot the game off of that.
I wouldn't say that isn't a win condition. Aiinmg is a win condition. So well done, BLG. They take down Iboy before his flashes comes up. And Rare Adam, in the meantime, they are going to sneak away the Herald as a consolation prize. We do see some heavy trading into the top side. Cube just coming out of Mega Gnar. He is going to have a sandwich coming into him with Mark finding the WQ combo. Meteor right behind him. And just such an unfortunate timing for Cube.
This is why I wasn't a big fan of the Gnar pick coming into this game. Anytime Hextech Ultimatum's up and there's anyone on that side of the map from your team, Cube will just be dead. He won't be able to survive any of the bursts or DPS coming out from the side of BLG. And sure, RA do get the Herald, but they don't really have a good lane to use it in. They're losing bot, they're losing top lane, and with those aspects, as, okay, nothing gonna happen bot, you're not gonna be able to rotate enough members mid to where even if you do drop it down, you can really take anything meaningful in the mid lane.
Taking a look at the trade right here, Cube actually is the one starting it out, but he can't finish the play whatsoever. You know, Leyan's heading away from his position.
Yeah, just, again, very easy play for the side of BLG. They were actually rotating up to make the Herald play themselves. They didn't know that Leyan was on it. They're in a good position. Cube too far overextended. His jungle is in the mid lane. You have no vision of anyone from BLG on the bottom side of the map other than Aiinmg, so just some mistakes coming out from the side of RA.
We're going to see another Drake sneaked away by Meteor, pretty much uncontested. Rare Adam don't even get a look at the Mountain Drake as it does fall down. And we are going to go into another resetted segment with BLG very much in the favor, both in the top side and in the bottom side.
You know, Clement, the funny thing about this is before this game, we were talking about the predictions we made. I predicted RA, you predicted BLG. At the last second, Clement, you changed your prediction. Are you regretting it? Are you regretting it, Clement?
Faithful. I'm regretting it. Hey, you convinced me that BLG were going to win this one. Okay? You convinced me RA was going to win this one. So if we're going down, at least we're going down together.
I mean, I feel like I've casted a lot of the BLG games, and though I love their early game, I couldn't believe in them past the 15-minute mark. But hey, again, they've been doing good. I've liked their drafts quite a bit in these first two games. Mark being so proactive on the map, Meteor a monster as always, and it just doesn't feel like RA have had a point to attack on the map in either one of these games.
I'll be honest, though. We both said that this series was going to go to 3. I think there's no way that Fofo on Zoe is going to let things slide. This is his best champion. He has a reputation to defend. He's going to take it to Meteor. I trust him. This is going to go to 3.
Okay, Clement, so again, we're going to swap hats once again. How does RA get back into this game, Clement Shu?
Hey, look, they're winning out on the middle side of the game, okay? Even though Meteor does have those 2 kills, I have seen so many Fofo games where he's able to make the crucial plays, and they're running a pretty easy to execute sort of game situation where there's just like double poke. So if they can find a Sleepy Trouble bubble, if they can find a kill into the mid lane, it all starts from there. However, I will say the top lane play developing there is probably not in their favor. RA read this very well, and they're going to go all in onto the bottom lane. They do find Aiinmg. He's burning down in the Ignite. They do find the kill. Mark is rotating in, but a very good Feather Storm coming in from Iboy to make sure that he's not going to be tagged up by the WQ. And BLG don't even get the top lane play either. So great defense on Rare Adam. Not what I was calling, but hey, they're making a comeback.
Yeah, and again, they're going to drop this Herald mid, so going to get some plates onto the likes of Fofo as well. And again, we see the problem with Aiinmg that we were talking about, that he can be known to play too aggressively. Mark wasn't in his lane. Mark was hovering around mid. He could just stand by tower and catch the wave there. As I'm kind of interested to see if Mark goes for this. Not able to find anything, but like you said, we see Aiinmg punished, and we see BLG not able to find anything on the opposite side of the map. So, Clement, maybe you're right. Maybe for RA, they're straight chilling. They're in a good position. They're just going to play around the poke combo in mid jungle, and that seems to be just the RA style in 2021 Spring. It's about playing with mid jungle.
When everything fails for them, they can always rely on Fofo, and Leyan does have his best champion right here. So these guys, they're in their comfort spot. They're in their comfort zone right now. And, I just want to see RA do more of those plays because BLG has been able to roam across the map. Mark has been able to leave lane so many times. And a lot of times I don't feel like BLG is actually properly punished for what they're doing on the bottom side. So it's always good to see teams being kept honest here.
Yeah, and we even see the wave in a really bad position for Aiinmg and Mark. Nice freeze and hold coming in for Iboy. Of course, it is building up, so he's going to have to push it at some point, but at least putting a lot of pressure onto the likes of Aiinmg and Mark. And now we're going to see if anything does happen towards the top half of the map, because we've seen Zeka hold on to his ultimate for quite a bit. We have not seen these Galio Camille plays come out like we talked about.
Yeah, that hero's entrance really wants to find its usage into the top lane. We do see Meteor trying to go up there and just clear out the wards. However, they do know that Leyan is there as well, and Fofo does still have his teleport, so that play really isn't going to happen, and I think they made a comeback on Cube's lane, Cube was down 1 kill, he was in a pretty bad spot where Meteor and Zeka were constantly looking for him. At this point, he does have the movement speed advantage with his tier 2 boots, and I think he should be fine for the next couple of minutes.
And now I wonder if BLG are going to make a play for this dragon, because, an option in BLG's playbook could be...
Ooh,
Mark flashing.
Right, Mark actually going in for the kill right here. Fofo is stunned up. He is burning down. Zeka should be able to find this one with the Winds of War. Does find the 350 gold with a little bit of bounty onto Fofo. So that is going to set them up very comfortably for this next Infernal.
Clement, the plays in your playbook don't matter when the enemy is making a mistake right in front of your face. Really good punish coming out from BLG. I guess it's not a question if BLG are going to go for the Drake anymore. Of course, they're going to go for it. BiuBiu also has push in the top lane and has TP as well. He's going to hover towards mid, and BLG should be able to pick this one up quite comfortably, but actually BLG's bot lane backed. And I have no idea why, Clement. I have no idea why.
What? That was such a weird one, because Camille is actually rotating down for this, and with Camille and Zeka still holding on to Hero's entrance, I feel like they should have taken this one. This is definitely in their wheelhouse. Their top lane was coming down for the play, but they actually give it over to Rare Adam, and Leyan's going to find some more damage onto Mark. Isn't able to finish, but Fofo does come in with the Paddle Star, does find the kill, and Zeka's ultimate is completely wasted right here. This game is so confusing.
Well, the 3-game prediction had to come, but the weirdest part to me is, even if you're going to give up that Drake, again, why are you not setting up a dive on the top side of the map and getting a gold advantage, getting your Camille ahead? You had everything available to you. You gave up Dragon. I'm wondering if he reset to get the Gale Force on the side of Aiinmg, and you just got nothing. We saw Meteor farming his own jungle. Zeka was just sitting in mid lane, and BiuBiu's roam and hover was all for nothing.
Yeah, pure BiuBiu, not really getting much on the top side, but just taking a look at the tower up here, he has already chunked it down to half. Meteor's making another play onto Herald, and it doesn't look like Rare Adam is going to be able to respond to this one just yet. Fofo's still coming out of his base. Meteor already 2/3 done with this one. So I think finally BiuBiu is going to get some rewards. He is going to be able to get that first brick gold into the top side. Wow, but Cube is caught up right here, and Mark goes in for the stun. Cube does find the Meganar and does get the double stun as well, so he does cancel out the play. Fofo is in the house. Can he find the poke onto Mark? Nope, Mark just pops the Unbreakable Will, is able to walk away with that one, and BLG sitting pretty with the extra Herald in hand.
I still think that was a really good play coming out from BLG. Was Aiinmg forced to blow his cleanse, but we actually saw Iboy rotating first. Aiinmg at first elected to stay in the bot side of the map, but BLG able to buy enough time between BiuBiu and Mark that RA weren't able to contest.
Now, really good on calling out Fofo's rotations there. They knew they had the numbers advantage. Rare Adam right now, they're just going to be able to take away some chip damage onto the tower. Taking a look at the items, we do finally see the catch up onto the mythics right here. Fofo is trying to go for that Paddle Star. Gets to sleep, doesn't find the follow-up onto Meteor. And this is when things start to become really, really scary on the side of Nidalee. Once she has that Night Harvester completed, she can chase down targets so easily, and it's the reason we see her being such high priority all across different leagues right now.
Yeah, and again, just an exceptional champion. It feels like she fits very well into a lot of compositions easily with the champions we have in the meta, and of course very good into the likes of Graves, which for some reason, despite its extremely low win rate in LPL, it's still the most picked jungler by far, so another good answer to that. But Pivoting somewhere else, I'm actually interested to see where Cube does go with his Mythic. In this matchup, a lot of the time we actually have seen people go for the Stride Breaker, but it does seem like he's just going to go straight to that Gourd Drinker with the items he has. The good thing about that is, BLG's comp does want to run into you, so at the very least, it should be very easy to proc the Gourd Drinker active.
Yep, we have been having a lot of discussions about which is the better Mythic for Gnar. We have seen some, as you mentioned, Stride Breaker and also the Divine Thunderer coming out. It really depends on how you want to play this Gnar, if you're a split pusher or if you are looking for that frontline engage. And like you were talking about, I do agree that, with BLG coming into you, it's probably better just for the Gourd Drinker. BLG, once again, hounding members across the map for Rare Atom. They're getting the vision down. This is something that I feel like BLG has done extremely well. Even since their Coach Sim days, they were always on the top of the league in terms of wards placed per minute, wards taken out per minute. This has always been a tradition for BLG. They don't always outmuscle you, but they definitely outsmart you.
And that was the thing even with Mark on LGD, is Mark was one of the better vision.
Cube does find the ultimate right here, but it just looks like a very low cooldown trade as he's trying to force some damage down. However, Hong and Leyan are on the chase as well. BiuBiu have to flash out of that one, still takes the spear, uses the Hextech ultimatum, but isn't able to survive from Leyan's pounce. It's now BLG's turn to find something else on the map as their top lane tower is surely going to go down.
Yeah, I feel like BiuBiu kind of misplayed that one a little bit. If he had ulted to dodge the CC and then flashed away, BiuBiu probably would have lived there, but does end up going down. We did talk about before this game that Camille's actually the champion BiuBiu looks most uncomfortable with. I don't think BLG played around it quite well this game either, so there's kind of both sides of that coin. But at least BLG picking up 2 towers in response to RA. Game still pretty close, but definitely RA favored at this point.
Yep, Rare Atom still holding on to a 2k gold lead, and they're actually not punished by the 2-tower loss that they've had in the top side. They're still able to clear out the Dragon side vision. Just taking a look at this play, really good Chang from Hong. I've been so impressed by his Leona play, by his Thresh play. He always seems on point, and just the sequence and prediction coming out for him was really the big factor in securing that kill.
Yeah, again, nice E, and then throws the ult for the prediction, but again, I do feel like it was a bit of a misplay by BiuBiu. Leyan was there to follow up as well, and now it's going to lead to another dragon for RA, so we're going to see them default back to what should mostly be a 2-lane setup, right? You don't really want either Zoe or Xayah catching side lanes all that much. It's going to be a lot about Gnar kind of taking the weak side role and then contesting the midway 5-man and turning that into river control on either side. Of course, no dragon up now, so probably will be that top side of the map.
I will say, it does feel like to me BLG are playing very timid around these Drake timers. I definitely felt like that was another situation where they could have sneaked away the Drake given their lane priority and just the fact that Fofo was so far away from the play. They don't go for it, and Rare Atom are the ones that could potentially put BLG on a timer at this point.
Yeah, it's so weird where BLG are the ones who have all the tools to kind of dictate the pace of the action, and we're just not seeing the plays come out. We're both spotting the windows where they can look for these plays. We pointed them out, but BLG a lot of the times just feeling fine, farming their own jungle, looking for weird reset timings, and again, just kind of hoping that RA doesn't do anything, I guess, but definitely weird coming out from BLG, especially when we talked about they're one of the most bloodthirsty teams in the league, one of the highest champion kills per minute in all of the LPL so far.
Yeah, they've been playing a lot of skirmish compositions. They like to charge forward. They're all about that blood on the Rift. But for some reason, they played very, very slow around objectives. And this is kind of something we saw in the old BLG as well. Sometimes they were too timid and they gave away leads against teams with better players and better scaling compositions. It seems like to be some of the same pitfalls that we've seen and some of the reasons why BLG hasn't really been able to solidify a lead past the 25-minute mark. And we are going to see Rare Atom once again being the ones more aggressive on this bottom side. They have their lanes pushing out. They are looking for that poke, setting up that vision, and just waiting for someone to walk by.
Yeah, it's the exact 2-lane setup that we talked about, right? You have Zoe catch the weak side wave, but wants to be with that 4-man core. You group as 4, catch the wave, send Gnar to the opposite side, and then pivot into the river as a unit to get vision.
So it does look like Fofo is going to find some damage here, but in the meantime, Zeka does do his job, gets the top lane tower, which was undefended, And now they have an interesting choice if they want to potentially go onto the mid lane engages. We see pings actually going down from both sides right here. Very tense moment, but neither side really decides to take it. They want to see where the rest of the members show up on the map. And with Gnar showing up on the bottom side, BLG are just going to go for this. Wow.
Yeah, and BLG do have great turn, right? They have an Alistar, they have a Camille, they have the Galio to follow up as well, but they're doing this so fast.
Down to 4,000 HP right now. Leyan is in the vicinity, but can he actually close the distance? It doesn't look like it, and Meteor is going to sneak away this Baron. Mark, however, going very, very low. He's going to fall down. Zeka on the wrong side of the map. They do find Leyan, but how many kills are they going to get traded away for the Baron? Fofo finds another one. It's already 2 down on the side of BLG. It's going to be a couple more. Zeka's not going to be able to escape from this one. But if it's only 2 kills, I would still say pretty favorable. Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. Zeka somehow finds a miracle escape, forces the flash out of Iboy, and the Iboy is the one that falls down, baited by the perfect timing. Can't Fofo equalize this? He finds the damage, but unable to get the final kill. He uses the heal, goes in, has a Gale Force, and he dies too. No, BLG with a massive win.
Clement, it's tragic on both sides. Where is Casual? Because there's illegal gameplay all over the place. BLG, such a good idea to go do Baron. RA weren't fast enough to spot it out. Mark is trying to zone and buy time. At that point, Clement, as we're going to see here, just let Mark die. You don't need to all in for this. I don't think they're in a really good position to follow up. Their damage dealers were still on Baron. Just get out of here. You lose one member. Everything is fine. You got Baron. But they overforce. A bunch of members go down. RA, though, they're going to keep chasing. I would say pretty understandably so. It did look like they were going to be able to pick off Zeka here. Like you highlighted, really good ultimate coming out from Zeka. And then here from Iboy, flashes in, goes too far forward, gets instantly just kind of dominated. And, you know, we're coming back straight into another fight, Clement Shu. We don't get time to rest.
Yeah, there is no time for inaction in the LPL. We are going to see Fofo get chucked down quite heavily right here. Does look like they had to burn a potentially picked up heal or something of the sort. Maybe it was just a honey fruit. But we do have Mark coming in from the flank. Leyan actually being sandwiched. And the Hextech ultimatum does go down. He dies for absolutely nothing right here. And Zeka is charging through the choke. However, Cube is able to get onto the backside. He finds a very, very good Mega Gnar onto BiuBiu. But is he able to survive right here? Stunned up, does get the Gore Drinker. It looks like his teammates are leaving him for the afterlife. And BLG win another critical fight with a great start from Mark going over the wall.
This was the setup we were expecting to see from BLG the whole time, right? Sure, RA does have this like 2-man poke core, but it's really hard to face check rushes into BLG. BLG have zone control opportunities coming out from Galio and Alistar. It's just about, hey, using that Hextech ultimatum onto one of the key members as Iboy is forced to ult. And yeah, BLG went out. They get the objective. They can keep pushing down these turrets.
BLG still trying to cash out on more. They're going to get the bottom lane tower for their troubles. And still a hefty death timer on Cube. So their jungle is going to get ransacked here on the side of Rear Adam. They're coming back onto the Rift with, you know, with a huge loss right here. I think both of those engagements were ones that Rear Adam could have potentially won out on. Just better execution on BLG's side. And I think this highlights a lot of what the poke composition needs to do. They really need map control. They need their dark spaces. They need those blind face checks coming out from the enemy team. They don't get that. They don't get the initial chunks of damage. They don't get the 2 rotations before the team fight. And it does tend to go the way of BLG after that.
Yeah, and to highlight that, every time we've seen RA get ahead is when it's them using River Vision that they were able to secure with their 4-man core, and then Fofo poking his head over a wall with either a Sleepy Shovel Bubble or a Paddle Star, which forces the members of BLG off. It's pretty much their only win condition to kind of play out this game and get pressure.
Ooh, but we see BiuBiu going in. Leyan still running for his life. BiuBiu holding onto the Hextech ultimatum. Doesn't really want to burn it that far behind enemy lines, but it will give a clean rotation to BLG as they go for the top side. They're going to pick this one up uncontested. A good amount of gold going into their pocket, and the siege still continues as Hong tries to find an engage. Doesn't really find Aiinmg. Aiinmg still holding onto his cleanse. Doesn't even need to burn that one. And Rare Adam fail the engage. They do have the top lane tower being pushed down. Fofo finds a good chunk of damage, and BiuBiu is the one that comes in. Zeka is soon to follow as well. BiuBiu caught in a bad position. Are they going to throw this one away? Their front line just melts. No aftershock for Zeka. He's not going to be able to survive this one, and it's thumbs ups and emotes coming out from Fofo.
And we're seeing it again from BiuBiu's Camille. He ults the frontliner, which is so strange when, like you pointed out, he was so patient to not ult Leyan that he didn't do that because he didn't have any vision of where the rest of RA was, because if he did, it was an absolutely guaranteed kill. Then comes in for some reason, thinks, okay, I'm going to lock down Hung, and at least all the other members are around him. We bring in the Galio ultimate to knock them up, but it's just not the right call. You were doing such a great job of pulling RA between two lanes with your side lane threat in the Camille. And again, Clement, get Cadril on the phone, chat, ping him right now. It's all over the place. Illegal, 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 Clement.
Call the cops. There was no real reason for BLG to force that one. Like,
they were winning.
Rare Adam had to respond to them. They had Galio split pushing in the top side, uncontested. Hong, again, using his ultimate, just trying to find a pick here, is not going to force anything out of Meteor either. So another big cooldown going down. And Meteor backing straight in front of him. Not really afraid of this play whatsoever. The Baron is going to come up in 30 seconds. And honestly, do you think the game is still in favor of BLG at this point?
I would still say so. I think compositionally, they just have...
Sorry to cut you off, but Zeka actually failing some of that disengage. There is going to get hit up, but BiuBiu this time around does have a very good access point to the backside. He is going to use teleport to come in. Hong is the first one to go down. Cube actually pushes the front line into his own back line, but that seems to be working out for him as he is unkillable at this point. And Rare Adam find the kill advantage before the Baron play. Just as I say that, Aiinmg does go in for another one to equalize that out, but a potentially disastrous situation for Rare Adam sort of avoided there.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it comes off the back of BLG's coordination in these fights just isn't exactly there. We actually see a good Hextech ultimatum come out this time as Fofo's TPing in. Maybe they want to keep looking for some picks.
It is a 3v3 around the Baron pit. I don't think either side is really going to force the issue at this point. So BLG just walk away with the Herald, the Scuttle at this point. However, he is standing on a ward. We are going to see Aiinmg chase down. The Heat Flash comes in and Leyan picks up the full 1,000 gold bounty.
Clement, do you not know the LPL? You think they're not gonna push it and look for something? He TP'd Clement. Of course he's gonna look for something. And now RA getting a Baron.
Hear me out. I didn't expect the Iboy recall right here, but the action is non-stop. BiuBiu is going to go in. It's actually a very good angle for Zeka. He finds 3 people in the taunt, and Iboy is tanking the Baron. This is disaster for Rare Adam. They were on the 5v4, but it all goes awry, and it looks like BLG are going in and trying to close the series out off that triple kill.
Oh my god, Clement, there are throws everywhere, but in the end, RA throws harder. With these death timers, I think BLG should be able to take it.
It's going to be 37 seconds before Fofo has a say in the matter. BLG charging down the top side. It's only Q to defend here. He is going to have to Mega Gnar, but can he hold against the 4-man incoming? If he can, this is going to be the greatest defense that we ever saw. Leyan is almost coming in. He does clear most of the minion wave. The Gore Drinker is keeping him alive. Hung is here, and he is still there. The Sterix Gauge pops. The Bloodlust is here, and he secures the base defense. Rare Adam not only don't lose the series right here and now, they actually keep the Baron play alive as well.
We made a grave mistake, Clement, in underestimating Gore Drinker plus Sterix Gauge. We've been casting these games every day. We should have known how that one was gonna end up, but still, BLG walk out with a massive win. We are gonna get to see a play of the fight. Really nice angle coming in. Zeka and Mark able to finally chain that CC, block 2 members down. Both Fofo and Iboy do get zoned away from Zeka's Galio, and then BiuBiu easily able to land that Hextech ultimatum onto a priority target. You burn everyone down, and then they thought that they could get the end, I think kind of rightfully so, but sadly, again, Sterix Gauge plus Gore Drinker. Not letting it happen. Not letting it happen.
You know, after that play, it was a 50-second, I believe it was a 50-second death timer on Fofo, and they somehow managed to survive that situation. Just absolutely incredible, and I'm glad to see that, you know, Gore Drinker is going to get some more champion-specific nerfs on Aatrox and Olaf. That item is just absolutely ridiculous. However, we are going to see a reset here. BLG running it back again, and they are going to be the ones starting it up. Zeka's going to be the one playing interference. Mark as well, waiting on the ramp. And so far, Rare Atom don't even know this Baron has been started. Oh, wait a minute. No, he didn't. What? How? No way. Leyan, you monster.
God. That is so tragic for the side of BLG and RA once again finding a way into this game. I said it, Clement. Throws upon throws. It just doesn't stop.
How did he find that kill? Why was nobody body blocking? There was only one direction that spear could have came through. And he finds it out of everything. Oh, no.
I mean, the weirdest part, right, is that Zeka was on the opposite side of the pit, as we're going to see here. Mark and
they
Zeka
have full vision. They have full vision of it.
Oh, God.
No.
Hey, I will give BiuBiu the benefit of the doubt. I could see on his screen how maybe he thought he'd be body blocking that, but that should not happen. Oh, God.
Oh, that
hitbox,
it went through Camille's legs.
Yep.
Oh, my God. That's what you get for having twig legs, Camille. The steals are going to be incoming. So, Rare Atom actually able to stretch this one out, and it's been a long time, but they haven't been able to get across their side of the river. They're doing the 5-man stack. We're going to see Camille trying to find something. BiuBiu is hovering right outside of vision, and we do see Aiinmg actually use the Gale Force to get something going, but, you know, no one bites on Rare Atom.
I think an important thing to highlight is the fact that now BiuBiu does have the Guardian Angel, so to where before he'd have to commit to an engage kind of haphazardly because he can get bursted out quite quickly. Now he can just commit a full Hextech ultimatum.
Oh, that's going to be the 3-man. Zeka's going in for another 3-man knock-up on the side. BiuBiu with the perfect angle into the bottom side, but they can't find the kills just yet. Finally, Hong does go down, and Fofo still alive on this one. They find Aiinmg. Aiinmg actually is tagged up by the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Another over-aggression coming in from BLG. They're going to lose 3, and Rare Atom somehow, some way, despite a disastrous start to the team fight. That was picture-perfect synergy from BLG, something we haven't seen the entire time, but Rare Atom still come out ahead.
And the thing is, though, Clement, death timers are long, but BLG still have just enough of their base, because they pretty much have all of it, to where Rare Atom should not be able to push in for an end. That was sad for BLG. They funnel into the choke. It looked like they found all the right angles, but still, Fofo and Iboy were left to just kind of free hit the whole of the BLG squad.
Oh, you have to tell me where this went wrong. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, we see Mark and Zeka going in. Again, keep your eyes on Fofo. He's just pretty much left unscathed. Even with the fact of BiuBiu hitting a nice Hextech ultimatum, enough members are around to zone him off because Cube was pretty much 1v4ing in the front line. And then here, Aiinmg just going too deep. It's what we talked about all day long. This is what Aiinmg's known for. And the combination of one, Cube doing a great job at zoning these members, and two, Fofo being left untouched. No one was trying to get on top of Fofo. Hung was doing a great job at standing next to Iboy when BiuBiu jumped in. And I think the angle just wasn't very good for the side of BLG.
It was good synergy, but they definitely got funneled by Rare Atom. And Cube, as you were mentioning, he found a 4-man Gnar ultimate onto the front line. So most of BLG's damage was actually on the Leona in that team fight. And I'm just so surprised that I see Aiinmg out Iboying Iboy. So, you know, this series feels like it's never going to end. And I absolutely love this. This is so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we know people in chat have been clamoring for, hey, what happened to the LPL? Where's the Fiestas? Where's the throw? Where are the clowns, Clement? But we definitely have them in these first 2 games. And with Dragon coming up in 15 seconds, BiuBiu split pushing, though. We could see potentially look for backdoor.
Yeah, Cube does have to go back to this one, but he's not going to be in time for this. BiuBiu's just going to walk away. He has no reason to stay here, and we do see a potential engage happening in the mid lane as BiuBiu actually has the inside track on this one. Cube is still dealing with his minion wave, so there's a potential that BiuBiu could find another foray into the ranks of Rare Atom.
Yeah, and luckily that spear did not land from the likes of Leyan. BLG are playing this one extremely slow. It does look like they're trying to find a good angle for BiuBiu
Mark
to
goes
play.
in. It's going to be the Cannonball combo, but it's not a good angle. Once again, they're getting funneled in the jungle. Hong walks back. However, there were multiple members actually dealing with the base, so they do just get a free kill here. Iboy has to burn his ultimate just to get out of that one. And despite the target selection, BLG do make good on their promise of the Cannonball.
Yeah, and it was really interesting because BiuBiu actually, for some reason, went to hit turret as Fofo still doing damage, which pulled both Fofo and Cube to deal with BiuBiu. As you see, BiuBiu actually did have to burn a flash off our screens, but it gave numbers advantage to the side of BLG in the bot side jungle fight, which did lead to that nice pick off coming onto Hung, and now this Ocean Soul for the side of BLG.
Pretty big win in favor of BLG. Probably not the best soul considering their composition is kind of a one-punch combo, I would say. But, you know, just getting that off the map definitely helps their side lane. Split pushing is going to buff up BiuBiu as he continues to be such a nuisance into these sides. I think this fight, you know, it feels like BLG have a chance to play the map, but Rare Atom have a chance to win the team fight.
I definitely agree. We haven't really seen BLG playing the map all that much, as RA just being extremely aggressive with this poke, and again, it's all about how they play with vision and vision denial, as we've seen. I do want to see BiuBiu once again in the side lane. He still has that TP. There's no real objective to play over, though Baron is about to come up, but again, you have TP on both sides.
Baron already up, showing up in his pit right now. BiuBiu looking to engage on Iboy. They know he probably doesn't have the ultimate just because they burned it the last time. But Iboy's going to play super aggressive right here. He trusts his teammate to keep himself alive. And Zeka actually is the one being tagged out. Aiinmg just flying into the fray. What was that? That's kind of a weird positioning, but Mark is going to follow up. BiuBiu is going to go in. They take Iboy into GA in an instant. There's not enough damage coming out from Rare Atom right here, but Iboy comes up, and he is standing across from the choke. He's going to stay alive. He's going to dish out all of that damage. Finally, he does go down. Aiinmg with an incredible shotgun initiation from the AD carry. They're going to pick up all the kills on Rare Atom, and what was an extremely dubious start of the fight is actually a genius play from BLG as they get the ace and the series win.
Clement, it was so crazy. If you can't know you're gonna do it, how could the enemy know? And that's just enough for BLG to pick up the win.
Oh my god, Aiinmg, you are so goddamn brilliant. I thought you were throwing the game. I thought you were doing an Iboy, but that was a 200 IQ, 5 head play from Aiinmg, and they finally close this one off.